So this is chapter 2. We're going to talk about the kinds of stories. Again, this is a very short chapter. This is a very short chapter. Probably only take us 30 minutes or 35 minutes to complete this one. After this, then we're going to talk. I'm going to brief you the labs. Okay, I kind of explain what are the tricky parts of the labs. Okay. So there's several kinds of personal stories. Okay, as personal story means the story is actually about yourself, about somebody, about people, about person. All right. So there's several kinds. So if you're interested in writing this kind of story, please pay my attention, because your questions, your work should be able to answer most of the questions. This is very important. Many students take this course very lightly. Okay. But this course heavily related to your final year project. If you are planning to do your final year project. For the final year project, you have to many of you will actually try to make a video, make a short clip, okay, also called microfilm or whatever, okay, and you must have a backbone of stories. Otherwise, your audience will not be able to understand what message you're trying to deliver. So that these are what are we teaching, okay, who are the elements or are the ingredients you must cover, okay. You take this kind of story, okay. So if we want to talk about a person, then we actually have different kinds of personal stories. So we're going to talk about this, okay, how these stories are categorized. Now, focus. We only in this lecture we only talk about the person. So that it's actually person oriented, the people oriented. 佢個人係個關於人嘅嘢，雖然我講嘅人嘅周圍嘅嘢，但係實歸根究底講人。There are different kinds of personal stories, okay, and we can actually deliver those personal stories with other multimedia elements, of course, with video and audio and soundtrack, etc. And what are these stories about, and how you should answer those questions, and what are those questions? For example, stories about someone important. When we talk about the character story, now that character must be alive, okay, must still exist on this planet. Or actually, you may even have character not on this planet. You can have a fictitious, okay, story. Okay, 嗰個係做咧，定係假嘅 story 咧？嗰個 case 係嘅真實嘅話咧，你都呢個人。一定係類喺度嘅 ，OK。So you have to pick somebody, maybe yourself, okay, maybe your relatives, or maybe your friends, or maybe someone you know, okay, or someone even you don't know. Then how do you inspire? What lesson you have learned from him or from her or from those groups? Okay. Then you want to recognize them, okay. You want to recognize their achievement. Okay, and make sure you have to describe your relationship with this person. Okay, what I would recommend you already want to write this kind of story as a beginner, probably write something that you do, write some person you respect. Okay, you find fascinating. Okay, otherwise, there's not much you can write. Okay, and remember, the stories may kind of focus on, if you write this kind of story, do not shift the focus on simply just describing that character. Okay, his power, his handsome, his beautiful, blah blah blah. It's pretty superficial. If you write this way, 如果你哋寫嗰個人有幾勁、有幾靚、有幾得嘅話咧 ，OK， 其實係唔夠嘅。Sorry, because remember, this girl story is actually from you, okay? 係由你開始嘅。You have to show the connection, your relationship, your affection, okay? Your passion for this kind of character, this character, okay? 呢個已經係感情嘅投射嚟嘅。It's actually a projection, okay? It's actually your emotional projection. Okay, so make sure, even though you're gonna spend lots of time or resources to describe this character, you also need to emphasize your relationship to this character. Okay, remember, this character must be alive. Okay. And for those characters, how about if you want to describe a character that who has already passed away, then that will be categorized as a memory story. Okay. Someone who has already passed away, okay, does not exist on this planet. Probably, I just make up your grandfather, grandparents, great-grandparents, and they raised you when you were a child, okay, then they passed away. And you try to write something to memorize him or memorize her or memorize them, okay? That is called memorized story. And this is important. The fundamental difference from the fundamental difference of this kind of story is you can actually draw a conclusion, okay, from your perspective to this type of characters, okay, because they are already there, okay. Most of the stuff are factual, okay, and cannot be reversible, reversible, okay. 呢啲嘢你開咗蓋棺嘅理論，當然係從你嘅 perspective 啦 ，okay. Doesn't need to be objective, okay. But you can actually draw a conclusion on your relationship to this person, to this kind of person, or to this kind of character. And that is the fundamental difference between the memory stories and the character stories. Otherwise, they're pretty much the same. Okay, what is your relationship? So these are the questions you should answer in your piece of work. Okay. What is or what has been your relationship to this person? So how we describe this person, physical experience, character, etc. Their attitudes, okay, their characters, their personalities, things like that. Are there any incidents? Are there any events, okay, that you have? Are there any moments that you have actually shared with this person? Okay. Are there any events you work together? Okay. This is super important. Make sure you have at least 2 to 3 events that describe, okay, describe 2 to 3 events, okay, that you have been with him or with her with them. Okay. So this is really important because through this event, okay, your audience, okay, will be able to understand how you guys are related. Okay. What is the tensions, conflicts, okay, love, okay, between you and this character who has already passed away. Okay. What about the person did you most enjoy? Okay. And or maybe the love, the passion, and also the tension and conflict. Okay. You love this person, you like this person, or you hate this person in a negative way. Okay. Or sometimes there will be a mixture of feelings with this type of person. Okay, so that this is very important. Well, and what lesson you have learned from him, from her, or from them? Okay. So how did he, and how did they, okay, change you or kind of contribute to what you are nowadays? Okay. This is also important because you're inspired, you're obviously not affected, but you're inspired by them. Okay. You learn from them, okay. And sometimes even your personalities were molded by them. Okay. So this is very, very important. Okay. How about one more important question? That is actually a question only for a memory story. If you have one thing to say or something to say to this person, but this person already died, but then had a chance, what would you do? What would you say? 如果你有啲說話係未曾講嘅，但係如果已經喺呢個世界上面啦，咁你會講啲咩咧？ That is actually reflect, okay, your thoughts to this person, okay, and this is actually share your passion. This is actually a way to share your passion, your feelings towards this person, okay, and you let the audience know, okay, what your feelings towards this guy, okay. So this is a memory story. Now, besides the character story, now it's actually more me. Okay, we have actually more I. Okay, 呢個多啲係 me，多啲係 I 嘅actually from first person. Adventure stories, of course, you can actually talk. You can actually tell a story about adventure of somebody's. Okay, but actually, it's actually usually it's more me. Okay, you actually have more I elements in this kind of story. Called adventure stories. Okay. Your adventure, simply just your adventure. Okay, you have actually jumped out. You actually jump out from your comfort zone and learn and try to explore something new. Okay, accept the challenge, and you think this is worth to tell to the other and share your experience. Okay, your success or your loss. Okay, to other audience, and that will be the adventure story. The most typical one is the blog of traveling. Okay, but the point is, when you simply just travel, you need to travel somewhere, let's say Paris or whatever, and or England, you simply just show, okay, we have this, or we have this big bang, we have this shopping mall, and we have bought lots of stuff, blah blah. That is not adventure story because you don't have any tension. You simply just plainly describe, okay, your footprints. Okay, on this planet. If this is not an adventure story, you must have something up and down, the tension, the complex, okay, the challenges, the difficulties, okay, that you have encountered, okay, through this journey. Okay, it's actually a journey because it's a journey story. Okay, how you have encountered this story, this set of challenges, and have you overcome those challenges? Okay, how did you overcome those challenges? Okay, what lessons did you learn? So those are the things that are worth to tell your audience. Okay, we call this an adventure story. Okay, of course, for adventure story, it's not only for success. Okay, you're not only permitted to say to share your winning result to your audience. You can also share your experience of loss, okay, with your audience. Okay, that depends. Okay, your options. Okay, so this is our adventure story, but make sure simply just telling. Okay, we went shopping. We went to this place. We went to that place. That is not okay. That is not adventure story. But something, for example, during your visit to some places, and I've actually have a challenge, okay, then of a bungee jump. Okay, that bungee jump, you can actually write a story, okay, of a bungee jump. How did you plan for this bungee jump? Okay, what is your feeling before jumping? Okay, what do you want to say after jumping? Okay. And this is actually an adventure story because you can actually clearly describe your emotion of up and down. Okay, not only for this. Okay, probably, for example, try to imagine if go traveling. Actually, it's actually a real case for me. Before, as I said, I actually spent 2.5 months in the past summer. Okay, in Europe. Both my air ticket, both my plane ticket from Hong Kong to Portugal, and also from London to Bangkok, they were all canceled. Okay, 2 days before my flight. Okay, so that this actually I can actually write a story on this. How did I discover this issue, discover these challenges, and what did I do? What have I done? Okay, in order to resolve the situation. Are there any things to follow up? Okay, so that this can be a story. This can be an adventure story, or maybe you're lost. Okay, in a city. How can you get your way back and get to your hotel or to your accommodation? Okay, those are also can be considered as an adventure story because there's a challenges, there's an up and downs. Okay, in those journeys. Okay, but simply just sharing where you have been, okay, your dinner with your girlfriend or with your boyfriend, that is not an adventure story because there's no adventure elements at all. All right. Probably next time you visit, okay, somewhere, you've got to do a little bit planning at once. So that how can I travel your way to travel somewhere, you find something okay interesting or maybe challenging, then you can actually write up this kind of story. Okay. 記住呢個 journey story， 我係有興趣知道你去咗邊度㗎嚇，一定有啲 up and down 先得。Events in your life, your accomplishment. Most likely, most often, this kind of events, because accomplishment stories are the stories about competitions. For example, if you have joined a competitions, okay, then how did you prepare for the competitions? How did you work with your teammates, okay, to prepare for the competitions? Are there any arguments between? How did you resolve the situations? Those are the very interesting elements for you to describe, okay, before the competition. And what happened during the competition? Okay, are there any things, okay, have you encountered any incidents, okay, that you actually didn't expect, okay, and how did you solve this problem? Those are the accomplishment stories. And did you win or did you lose? Okay, if you win, okay, then what is your feelings? Okay, is it worth it to pay so much effort to gain this championship? Okay, if you lose, okay, how did you face this loss? Okay, so these are all the accomplishment stories. Okay, so this is actually many I would say in your case there will be a story for joining a video competitions. Okay, but for somebody for some athletes, either athletes, okay, you can actually write a story about this. Prepare a story for for fencing. Okay, and how did he, okay, endure the tough process of training? Okay, this is the stories about accomplishment. Okay, so this kind of story can be very long but make sure sometimes these stories, okay, can be boring. Because, for example, if you're joining a competition for video competitions, nobody are interested, okay, in your lengthy preparation. You may actually show some of your preparation, okay, your preparation work before the competition. But that should be only a small dish, okay, your side ingredients. Okay, it's actually about more your spirit, okay, the tensions, the dynamics between your teammates. Okay, how did you overcome those challenges, and what are the unexpected events, okay, you have encountered, and how did you overcome them? Okay, those are the stuff, okay, worth to mention, rather than simply just telling your audience, we have been preparing very long and we have actually lots of steps of preparation. No, not like this. So those are the questions for accomplishment stories. Okay, make sure you have this accomplishment story. You must attach to an event. You must attach to an event. Okay, we are not only talking. Nobody is interested in your daily training. Okay, you must have a goal. Okay, you must have an event attached to this. Otherwise, there's no point for working so hard. Okay, if you don't have any goal. Okay, so that in many cases we have an event. Okay, so that will give you the timeline. You're gonna say if you prepare for the video competition and the deadline will be on, let's say I just make it up, then mid-October, and then that will be a time frame. Okay, for your story to happen. How much time you have prepared? To place the incidents, are there any series of incidents, series of challenges? Okay, those are also important because those incidents, those challenges will actually help you or give you opportunity for the audience to understand the dynamic between your teams. Okay, how did you relate it? How are you related? Okay, to this event? Are you one of the team? Are you one of the team members or team leaders? Or okay, or simply you're simply just a manager of the team, okay. From different perspectives, you have different views, you have different decisions, okay, for towards the competitions. With home, did you experience this event? Okay, do you have any teammates? Okay, who are they? Okay, are they? Do you know them well, or they are simply just gathered a bunch of person without knowing each other all together? Okay, join this team. 一對三角啊，一對鐵三角咧，okay. Are there any defining moments? And this is very important. There should be some defining moment, okay, of this kind of event, okay, so that you can identify that. What are those defining moments? The moment, okay, that you decide to join the competitions, okay, the moment that you discover, okay, something unexpected. You encounter some challenges that you have never expected. Okay, those are the moments. The moment the result has been released or has been announced. Okay, those are the defining moments, and it's worth to mention and make sure you have to mention, also need to mention those dynamics, your devotion, okay, your passion, okay, of you and your teammates. Okay. What did you learn from what? How did you feel to this event? Okay, so those are the emotions, and what have you learned from this event? Okay, and how this event changed you? Okay, change your life. Okay, probably changing your life would be too big to mention, but what do you learn? What lessons you have learned? Okay, but for some of the events, okay, that can be life changing. Okay, for example, you've been working so hard, okay, spending effort in the past 6 months, then you submit your work late for 5 minutes, then you got disqualified. Okay, and that's actually a life-changing moment. Of course, that will be a defining moment, but that will be a life-changing experience, because you know that 5 minutes, okay, 5 minutes late, okay, has wasted all your effort you have been invested in the past 6 months. Okay, that is actually a lesson, and you will remember this lesson for the rest of your life. That you will never be late again. Okay, so this is one of the stuff. All right. Sorry about your place. And this is actually a very common story. Sorry about your hold on, let me just. It's a very common story. Okay. Many people will die within, as I said, many people will die 20 kilometers of your home. Okay. Do you have that? You may highlight this, okay, and check whether at the time you die, okay, you want to check, okay, whether you are 20 kilometers in your home. Okay. I think in Hong Kong that happens a lot because Hong Kong is so small. Okay. If you die in a hospital, then probably within 20 kilometers. But anyway, it's actually about the place that worth to mention. Okay. This story is not about, oh, I have a new home. Okay, I moved to a new home. So that we have a very expensive refrigerator. We have 100 inches screen, flat screen TV. No, it's not about that. It's about a place you want to share with your audience. Okay, with other people. For example, you have memory in that place. But I'm not sure about you guys. Okay, when I was small, okay, well, the neighborhood was very strong. Okay, so actually we children from different families, they will actually go to a park, okay, and have their fun for the whole day, okay, after school. So that those little garden or little park that will become a place that will become my neighborhood. Okay, that is actually contains lots of my memory. Okay, so those are the stuff. For example, when you were small, when you're small, every year, okay, you have to go back to, I don't know, to China, or to somewhere, okay, to visit your grandmother or grandparents, okay. and you're gonna spend a month there. Okay, then that is a place. Okay, you may want to mention that because that place has a very special memory. Okay, has a very special meaning to you. Okay, not only the place, but the people, the surroundings of this place. Okay, so this is very important. Okay, and sometimes this story is very easy to write. Okay, because those places are factual, they are actual facts, they're actually there. But it will also be difficult to write. Why is that? Because, as I said, that places has something, has some sort. That places are special to you only. If I haven't been there, okay, then you have to invest lots of effort to tell me why that place is so special. What happened there? Okay, that is only a little part. Okay, in I don't know, in North Point or in Kowloon City. Okay, so what's so special? Every district has a park. Okay, what makes this park so special? It's because after your primary school and when you were small, your grandma, your grandpa will go to that park, okay, and buy you some snacks, and you're gonna spend 3 hours after school. Okay, that is why that places, okay, has some special meaning to you because that specifies the bonding between you and your grandparents. Okay, those are the place about your life. Of course, sometimes you live in a public housing estate, okay, and this housing estate has been removed, okay. Then when you are grown up, okay, let's say 20 or 30 years later, you visit back, okay, everything's changed, okay. That is also considered as a place of in your life, but I don't think you can come up with this kind of story because you're still young, okay. You still need that change takes lots of time, okay. When it takes around two to three decades, okay, to write this kind of story. When I go back to some places when I was small, okay, I can actually describe some of the changes. What are changed? What things are changed and what things remain unchanged? Okay, those are these things only for people who have actually experienced enough. This is actually just what I said. How do you describe this? How do you describe this place? Does it have any common? With whom did you share this place? Okay, this little garden, this little park, my grandparents brought me to that park. Maybe have lots of fun with my twin brother. Okay, in this park. Okay, we work together. We imagine a lot. Okay, in this park. Okay, and that's actually my golden memory with my brother. Okay, in that park because actually we play a lot. We imagine a lot. Okay, things like that. Okay, what general experience? Okay, do you relate it to this place? Moment of pleasure. Okay, or maybe you have something horrible happening there. Okay, you have been robbed in that apartment. Okay, so that you hate going there. Okay, so that is also your general experience. Okay, are there any defining experience? Are there many defining moments? Okay, with this place, sometimes you have sometimes that place, okay, will happen. Will have an event of sorry. Some of the incidents, some of them defining incidents happen in that place. Give you strong emotional attachment, either positive pleasure or negative hatred or problem. Okay, that is also related to this place. Okay, now when I say the story about this place, sometimes even though I have actually mentioned a lot about positive experiences, because actually I really want to encourage you to share some positive memory, but in fact, some of this place may give you a negative feeling. This, and if you want to write that down, you want to express your feeling, feel free. All right. The story about your life. Okay, this is actually very big. Okay. So what lessons you've learned from this this neighborhood. Okay. This is a very broad question. Okay, but if you have some incidents happening in these places, then probably you will have learned a lesson. And one very important question: if you have to return to this place, probably you moved, then how has it changed？ 有冇變過咧？係咪桃花依舊，人面全非咧？ And this one, okay, I think you have actually seen a lot of these dramas. Sorry about what you do. Doctor, lawyer, okay, firefighters, these stories are all belong to that. What you want, what you do. Okay. About some professionals, okay, people are nosy to somebody's profession. Okay. I'm a lawyer, holding happy hour. All the lawyers, okay, do they go happy hours after office hour? Actually, they don't. Okay. They have to work. They have to work very late for most of the lawyers, even including even doctors. Okay. So it's actually about the personal career. Okay. What you do? Usually, okay, you do not talk about the career about clerk, okay, or office boy, because they're too general. Okay, people are not interested in those clerk or office boy, the daily work or bellboy. They really want to talk about. They actually know people who knows about some of the professional people. Okay, doctor, lawyers, things like that, pilots. Okay, those are stories. Okay, about are there any job sense of identity? I saw sense of identity. This type of career, they must have some social identity. Okay, social status. Okay, so that they will actually raise the interest of the public. Okay, so that we can actually spy on their life, their personal life. Okay. Are there any commitments? Firefighters, their commitments. Doctor, lawyers, their commitments. Okay. And sometimes the commitments, okay, they will have internal conflict with those people. And how would you describe this internal conflicts? Okay. 我哋每個人都有 social 責任㗎嘛。Okay, for example, for teacher, okay, suppose teachers, social commitment. Suppose teachers, besides teaching, especially for secondary or primary teachers, okay, besides teaching, they believe they will protect the children. So what happened? Okay, if the teacher has discovered, okay, a child, okay, a little kid has been abused by this family, then are there any struggle? Are there any things that he or she should do? Okay. At the moment now in Hong Kong, okay, teachers are not legally bound to report those abusive case. But because of the social commitment, what will other people think? Okay, what will the public think about this responsibility? Are there any responsible? Are the teachers responsible to report the abusive those abusive cases? Okay, and that will be a story. Okay, because that will show the internal conflict. Okay, of the teachers. Okay, something like that. For firefighters, people are afraid of dying. Okay, but when the firefighters go to the scene, okay, they have to fight against this internal fear. Okay, those are stuff. Okay, and this kind of story will give the audience, okay, a new perspective, okay, or new angle to see this industry or see this profession, to see these kinds of professions. They are only humans. Okay, people think like lawyers, doctors, they should be very smart. In many cases, most of this, okay, many of the internet fraud, okay, most of the victims of this internet fraud, okay, they were actually professionals. Okay, so it will give you through the story. They will actually give this will give the person or give the we give the audience a new angle to see to remove this professionals. Okay, and this actually that will become very interesting. All right. What are the questions involved? Okay. What is your professional? Okay, what do you do? Or maybe somebody's professionals. Okay. Are they what are experience before you prepare for this industry? Okay. How did this industry change you? Before you become a firefighter, what person you were? Before you are a lawyer, what person you were? Okay. If you have watched some of the dramas, okay, you actually see, especially for doctors, okay, you actually see lots of freshmen, how they become a professional doctor, okay, and you can see actually the difference before they come to this industry and how they have changed and how they've encountered what difficulties they have encountered, okay. What are the who influence you? Okay, do you have any master? Okay, this guy, this person has given you or has given you drive or given you flash of pressure, okay, to shape your career. Okay, how this person change you? Okay, are there any highlights of your vocation? Okay, so in general, what do you want? Okay, to show to your audience about your profession or about somebody's professional. Okay, how your profession affected your life. Okay, people get divorced. Many doctors, many lawyers, many accountants get divorced. Okay, they have to struggle between the career and the family. Okay, those are the give and take. And some other stories. Okay, probably that will be that will be the end. Recovery story. You're injured. Okay, emotionally, mentally, or physically, you're injured, and that will be a story for you to write. Okay, how did you see this injury? How did you see this? How do you take this as an opportunity, okay, to new life, or you simply just get defeated, okay, by this injury? Okay, those are the recovery stories. Okay, love story, of course, romance. Okay, we're gonna have a topic about the love story. Titanic. Yeah, you must say Titanic. Have you watched Titanic? I bet not many of you have watched Titanic. Probably will see in. You want to watch Titanic? I'm not sure because I'll see how you do have because it's 3 hours movie. I'll see if I have enough time. I don't know. Yeah, maybe. Okay. Because in the after the middle of the semester, we'll be able to cover all the notes. Okay. For the rest of the semester, we're gonna watch lots of movies, and we're gonna, of course, we are not simply just watching those movies. We have to analyze those movies because they will be in the exam. All right. So the love story, romance. Okay. Not only for boys and girls, okay, or boys or girls nowadays. I should to be politically correct. I should include all kinds of movies. Okay, boys, girls, boys, elephant, whatever. Okay. So we have this. So we have a romance partnership, family, fraternal, paternal. Okay, those are the loves involved. Okay, even 人同馬騮、人同可憐都算係㗎。Okay, even for not person to animal. Okay, they also have love. You love your dog. Okay, 你有冇講咁核突 ？You love your dog. You raise a dog. You have a pet at home, right? You love your cat. That also the love relationship between you and the cat. Okay. Discovery story. You learn something new. You actually discover something new, not only your personal experience, you actually have found something that's something new or new invention. Okay, that is a discovery story. Okay, we have come up with some new idea. We have come up with something new. Okay, that you haven't seen this on this planet. Okay, that is called discovery story. How did you discover? You discover it by chance or by accident or or you actually plan, you actually this distance discovery, such according to your happens the distance discovery happens according to your plan. Okay, those are the discovery stories. All right. So any questions? Now, it's 1:52. Let's have a break. Then at 2 o'clock, came back here. Then I'm going to talk about your lab. Okay. For those students haven't marked your attendance, do it now. Okay. Then we're gonna begin level 2. You have any problems or submission? The moment then send by submission.
我想講佢話係有呢個 error 嘅，我試咗查啲方法發現我
有你交到未？
我交咗，因為我做咗字推咗自己個隊。
咁啊，我講係
我試咗反正好多我估佢都差咗個咩等緊所有 device 開都係。
你開嗰個 device
開咗。我個碼係冇 error，咁你而家部機喺度，你冇揾我睇。變到，但係攞翻嚟嘅，你 desktop 嚟嘅，我 desktop 嚟，我攞翻嚟睇。
As I actually for the latecomers, I actually have uploaded lab 3, 4, 5, and 6 that should provide enough detail for you to work on your project. Okay, in terms of technical aspect of your project, probably you'll be expecting the project outline, the project details in late September or early October. Okay. We'll talk about the project later. Okay. So these 6 labs, they have different deadlines. And every Tuesday, by the end of every Tuesday, you expected to submit one lab. Okay. So make sure you look for this lab 1 to lab 6. Second lab 2 to lab 6 now, and to submit according to and they are actually ready for submission. You want to go faster, go free to complete. So, but for that three and next stage, I have not uploaded the lab sheet yet. But the video is available. Okay. For that sheet, this way for probably with the weekend, I have to modify some of our lab sheet. Okay. In order to before I go to Google. All right. Do you have any classes on this?有他有把都八点嘛，看到我上面的八点，没有一个八点，对，在那种一个八点，就把这种他们完了插到那个电脑，啊，咁就以前啲人遲到寫個中文冇睇試下，你有冇睇時有咩你隨時翻嚟啫？係，你翻誒翻嚟有咩人啊？有咩做啊？翻嚟咩堂啊？你講話你點解放開嘅話咁簡單？即係唔該晒。仲4個咧，你做埋啦而家。被固定咗我啲啦，呢個就做病。好啦，大家就諗法。呢種 send 嗰啲嘢嚟，我今日就關嘅。你人都有 project， 你人都有 project， 但係呢個 project 你將呢樣嘢合埋。但係 storytelling 我哋唔係對你嗰個，對你臨尾有一番叫有啲幫助。我漏咗啲嘢，點解漏？攞錢啊！
手指啊！我都想留啲錢俾你。
大粒啲，
係啊，
我喺度大嘅。
thank you，拜。
以前咧，佢哋要寫 Xbox 上嚟講過啦，但係 Xbox 大家冇機玩咧，冇機睇咧，我去有一個可以啊，都俾你啊嘛，每人都冇 Excel 要咩？你去到想要邊間啫？我做一做，唔知都俾你啦。嗰個 Xbox 嗰個 Y box 都俾我。以前冇嘅，以前冇 Xbox 都係我哋大個都係想要嗰個。我都未去過你。係啊，我知道。香港啊，你要幾多？我諗俾1000萬嘅，1000嗰啲你我賺。你去旅行，我真係做咗你個課。你喺呢方面搞，你喺呢方面唔係，即係我而家佢夾硬要搭頭一個廿到分。我臨尾完咗之後，我做中間加多6個字，你翻嚟非常變咗。我本來跟住邊啊？巴黎好多茶喎，去巴黎，巴黎你去巴黎嗰個時間去做咩？因為嚇係探 friend， 但係嗰個時間探 friend 又凍又快天黑，又冇特價啲嘢。算啦，我要翻嚟咁多次唔好意思咯，真係唔覺得咩意思咯。哦，嗰啲拍嗰啲唔係普京嘅 要貼中文係靚嘅。但係你第一次睇咪覺得好靚咯，哇！當你周圍都係嘅時候，會嗰啲人知。咪見到間嘢成樓上冇冷氣冇暖氣嘅話咧，咁點解？Oh, okay, let's get started. So I'm gonna introduce you the lab. I'll show, of course, the videos. I'm not gonna wait for you. The videos. We have already got the videos. I've already uploaded the videos for you. To here. So then let's get. I've already uploaded the video. So if you have any question, go back to the video for revision. What we're going to talk about is actually going to talk about the fragments. Okay, this is the fragments. And this, we call this as static fragments. And this is actually very useful when you try to have one screen and the user can actually scroll your screen and to read your story. So let's get started. You have Android Studio, you can actually create a new project, then with empty activity. So I've already created one, so that I'm not going to spend time on it because it's going to take some time to do initialization. 嗱，我開咗一個啦 ，empty activity。我唔想再開，因為咧要需要少時間去撈嘅。So we have this. Now, what we're gonna do is, I'm gonna so we have this one. So as I said, for each activity, we have one activity. We have one .java program and also one XML file. This is the layout. Now, we have fragments. The fragments is different from activity. Fragments, now remember, even though I said in the exam, I will not test you coding, doesn't mean that I will not test you the lab. Okay, you need not to code. I can guarantee you, you don't even need to write a piece of code, a single line of code. But for all the things, okay, probably I'll give you one line of code and ask you what it is. Okay, and probably I'll ask you to tell me the difference between fragments and activity. For activity, they can stand alone. For like this, the main activity, you can actually load the main activity on screen. But for fragments, you cannot. Fragments 係一個碎片嚟嘅啫. The fragments cannot stand alone. This is the main difference between activity, like this is the main activity, and fragments. Fragments, you cannot have a fragments that runs alone. Okay, all the fragments must attach to some activity. This is the main difference between fragments and activities. And you may wonder why on earth we need fragments. Why don't we simply just use activities? If you use activities, that will become different pages. And fragment will give you a chance that you can actually show different contents within one pages. Okay, that will save you some of the resources. Okay, and unlike writing programs on your desktop or on your notebook, if you are planning to write an apps, okay, on your devices, you have to think about the resources, because actually, eventually, this, regardless how powerful this mobile phone is, it still cannot be compared with a PC or with a notebook. So that we have a fragments. Okay, your fragments 同埋個 activity 係兩樣嘢嚟嘅。activity 可以自己玩嘅，自己 stand alone 嘅。你淨可 play 嘅 activity， fragments 係一定黐住啲 activity 㗎。So how do we create fragments? I'm going to create 3 fragments. So how do I create this? I simply just right click. Remember, when I right click Java, I should right click the first directory. Just right click and new. Then we go to fragments. Okay. Then we pick the fragment blank, because we actually have lots of choices of fragment. But for fragment blank, this will give you the least amount of dummy code. If you use other fragments, they'll give you lots of codes. Okay, probably they're pretty confusing and they will confuse you. So then I take one fragment bank. For first fragment, I will simply just call fragment A. Okay, for the names, I just make it up. Okay, this is fragment A. Then again, fragment will have for each fragment, it has 2 files. The first file, that will be fragment A.java. And the layout will be fragment underscore A.xml file. Again, as I said, they are actually fragments and activity. They are really alike. But the only difference is the fragments cannot stand alone. You have to attach to some
some activity. So that this is my fragment A. Then I'm gonna create, so that you see when I create the fragment A, I have one .java file, I have one fragment A XML. Okay. Now I'm gonna create two more fragments. So because according to your notes or to your tutorial sheet, there should be three fragments. So I'm gonna create another one. Okay. And one more, fragment C. Now you don't have to catch up with my speed, because they are already on in the video, and actually I'm recording this, okay, at the moment, so that up to you. So that we have three fragments. Now again, remember, we have to configure those fragments one by one. So I'm gonna go to fragment A first. Go to fragment A, double click this one, so that I have fragment A here. Now here, now this is a little bit different. Now, compared to activity main, I have a constraint layout. But for fragments, I will have fragment layout. Now, the fragment layout, the frame layout is actually pretty difficult to configure. So then I'm gonna, first of all, I have a text field. I'm gonna delete this text field. By default, they'll give you a label. And for the frame layout, I don't like this because, as I said, we have been learning constraint layout, so that you can think of a frame layout is a big plate, 一個好大嘅碟啦。Then I'm going to add a container. So I'm going to add a layout. My layout, I'm going to add a constraint layout. So on top of this plate frame layout, I'm going to put a plate constraint layout on top of the frame layout. 你當 frame layout 好大嘅碟，我唔中意 frame layout 呢個 layout， 我可以擺個 constraint layout 上去，啱擺多另一隻碟上去。So this is my constraint layout. Now with the constraint layout, you can put your stuff on it. Then you can, first of all, before I put the constraint layout, you can actually modify the attributes of constraint layout. You make sure you click on the constraint layout. You know which to focus. I'm focusing on this. You can scroll down a bit. Go to all attributes. By default, it's actually like something like this. It should be collapsed. You can actually click this one to expand. Then you can actually click background. For background, and you see this little bar. You click on this little bar, you give the color, you pick the color. And you can actually, these are the colors you can pick. But actually, you can simply just go to Google, type color HTML code. You can pick whatever colors you like. Okay, these are the color. Okay, you can pick, or maybe actually this is not the best website. Let me see about any, this one, HTML code. You can simply just Google them. Then those are the colors you can pick. Now, how do I get the colors I want? Simply just find this color. For example, I like this one, blue circle and whatever. Copy this code. This is the code for this color. Control C, copy this code. Now, go to background. Background sphere. Now, paste the code. Press enter. Then this is the color. Okay. Make sure you pick the HTML code, because Android will only take the HTML code. Okay. So this is the color. Now you can put something. Let's say I have a text. I want to, for example, you want to put some static content, some details. I can get the text field. Okay, let me do it again. I can get the text field, drag the drop the text anywhere you like. Release it. Now, I want this text field. So as I said, for all the elements in the constraint layout, you have to attach at least one horizontal and one vertical. So I want to put this one in the middle. So I'm gonna have both horizontal, okay, attached, but I still have error because I still need to attach one vertical. So I'm gonna add this one to the top. And then I want to give some margin for this one. Make sure you click on this one. I want to have margin, let's say 50. Okay, now I want the width that will occupy to they'll occupy all the space, okay, of this frame, so that for here I can see, did you see the layout width and the layout height? For the layout width, you can actually, instead of wrap content means the width will be just big enough to contain all the text. Now this one I can actually use 0 dp. Then you actually occupies the whole width. Of course, for the height, you can actually pick 0 dp, then will occupy the they will occupy the whole screen of this fragment. I think this is good enough. Then for the text, for default text, I'll say this is fragment A. This is fragment A. Okay. Now you will wonder, do I need to change the name of this? I'm not going to program this one, so that I will simply just leave it like this. Then I have complete one fragment. Of course, you can put more stuff on it. Okay, you can put a picture, you can put whatever you want. Okay, on this. Okay, you can put a form in here as well. Okay, now this is just for demonstration purpose, so that I will go to fragment B. Fragment B, doing the same thing, delete the text field. Then I will get the layout, constraint layout, put it, then change the color. So let's go for another color. Let's go for the J green. Okay. Now take the background. For the background here, just paste the code. Then I got J green. And then I would move a text view anywhere I like. Okay. Again, attach to your left, attach to your right. Okay, attach to top, leave some margin. Okay, I want this one, the width will occupy all the width of the screen. Then I'll click the layer width to 0 dp. Okay, then for the text view, I will go for this is fragment B. Okay, and then I'm going to do one more. Fragment C. Again, simply just doing the same thing. I'll move a constraint layout down here. Okay, and change the color. Let's go for another color code. Banana yellow. And then go for the code background. Paste. Banana yellow. Then I have a text view. Oh, sorry. Move to the left. Move to the right. Move to the top. $50. Then the layout width, the layout height, I still need to wrap the content. For layout width, I think pick 0 dp. Now, I've actually completed all these three fragments decoration. Of course, each different fragments, you can actually have different colors, different decorations. It's totally up to you. Now, for demonstration purpose, I'm actually done here. Now, 講完未？一係出嚟講好冇 ？Now, for the activity, okay, for the activity here, I can actually, so now I'm done with fragment A, B, and C, I mean for the layout. And then I'll do the main. I'll delete this text field. Okay. Now on top of this, what I will do is I add a banner. Text field at the top. Okay, I'm gonna attach it to the top. Put it this one. And for the width, I'll occupy the full width. And then for this one, I want to attach to top. Okay. Then for this, for the text, I simply just say this is a fragment demo. Now, the reason I have this, then hold on, let me change the color as well. Let me find another color. That will be carrot orange. background. This carrot orange. Now, the reason that I want to show you, I want to put this, of course, you don't need to put this, but the reason I want to show you is the fragment has actually attached on this activity, to make it work. Okay, otherwise it doesn't show. Sometimes you may want to have some, you may have a story you want to tell. Okay, you can put some common elements like this on the text on here. Then for the next half of the page, you can actually use scroll. They show different fragments content. Okay, for example, on fragment ABC, you can say chapter 1, then a bunch of stories, chapter 2, story, chapter 3. Then this one will be the title of your book. Okay, then the user can actually scroll, okay, back and forth. Then you can have a book, have an ebook on this. So this is very simple, and they're actually pretty safe. So fragment ABC is up to you. Of course, you can have 20 fragments depending on how you do it. And you only need one activity, and that will be able to show 20 subject contents. Now we have this one. I'll say this is fragment demo. You can put a book title. Now the next one here, you have to put a container. Now this is difficult. To put a container called view pager 2. There was a view pager 1, but actually this is already gone. Okay, so that Andrew still have a view pager 2. Now this one, be careful. You have to. This one is actually requires program. So that I drag and drop, send anywhere somewhere like this. Okay. Now you see we have an error because we haven't attached here. So here you can actually click on this dot, attach to the left. Okay, and click on this dot, attach to the right, and click on this dot, attach to the bottom, and click on this dot. Here you may want to kind of minimize this one and take this one to here, attach to this one. Okay, now go to here. Make sure all these 4 dots are attached. Then for the layout width, I want to say 0dp, so that you make sure this view pager 2 will actually occupy full space, full width. Then the height 0dp. You will occupy to the top, but except you leave you some of the space here, so that your fragments C, A, B, and C will only show in this part. But bear in mind, since you have not a full page for fragment ABC, right? Because it occupies some space. If you have a bigger banner, then less space will show. Then for fragment ABC, probably the bottom part will not be able to show. Okay, because you have to measure. You really have to measure the banner of your main activity. Okay, now any questions here? So let's take a look at the view pager 2. Now the names here, I will call this one, go back to here to say ID will be VP2. Okay, to make it as a VP2. Now for basically all your cooks, also all your decorations, okay, for the layout, they are done. Now the difficult part is you have to create a class. Okay, that will help. This class will help you to swipe around between fragments. Okay, so I have to create a class. How do I create now? We are not creating an activity. We are creating a class. Right click here. Right click this directory. Right click new. Simply Java class. For the Java class, you can do whatever names you like. I'll say demo fragment. Okay. For this demo fragment, okay, now, so this is the new class. Okay, I simply just call the name demo fragment. Then I will type the keyword extends. Okay. Now, this one extends means I'm gonna do something that will do more on top of a classes. I'll say now FLAG fragment S. I'll pick this one. FRAGMENT, pick us, then you show this one, fragment state at that time. Then you press tab. Okay, then give you this. You import a class and press tab will give you this, and you have lots of red lines here. Don't worry. Then press alternate enter. Okay, for Windows, move your cursor on anywhere on the red line. Press alternate, or you can press this little light bulb, or you can press alternate enter, or alternate enter for Windows, or option return for Mac machine. Then pick implement methods. You press this light bulb, it will also give you a choice of implement method. But actually, I'm not sure for some of the machine, it doesn't give you this light bulb. So implement methods. Press enter, or click this one simply, and click OK. And you still have an error. Okay, don't worry. Then I will have go back to here again and press option return or alternate enter or this little light bulb again. And create a constructor to batch super. Okay, this is very high. This is a very advanced technique. Okay, because the fragment state at data, this is a class that will actually help you to swipe around the pages. But by default, this library does not contain these three fragments. So that we have to create a demo class, demo fragment class that will be able to kind of put more fragments, put more details on this library. So that this is the way we have to do this. And we have to modify these two methods. Okay. So first of all, the easiest one is to get item count. If there's three fragments, okay, instead of 0, then there will be 3. If so we have 3 fragments here, ABC, then we're going to have return 3. If there are 50 here. So that first one, I'm going to have 3. Return 3. Okay. Now, so the total number of items will be 1, 2, and 3. So you have 50 fragments, then make sure you type 50. Now, position. When I scroll the fragment, when I scroll the screen, okay, and we have to tell the computer which position, sorry, we have to tell the machine which position we're in, so that we can tell if position is somewhere, then we're gonna produce this fragment. If position is another number, we're gonna show another fragment. So how do we do this? Now, first of all, this one you can actually hide, you can actually comment this one because we're going to delete it later. If position equal to 0, return new fragment A. Else, let me finish all first. Else if position equal to 1, return new fragment B. Else return new fragment C. Now for this one, I can actually remove this one. Oh, sorry. Now remember, in computer science, everything is position is considered as an index, or position or index begin at 0. So that if my position at the very beginning is at 0, okay, original page, I will actually call this fragment A. Fragment A is actually this code. If I go to fragment A here, it's a bunch of code. Now, don't worry, for fragment A, you need not to do anything on this one. This one will simply just inflate. This one, when fragment A is being called, you simply just go to the onCreate method and to inflate this to show the fragment A. Okay, if I have fragment B, if position if position is swapped to the next page, then position equal to 1. Then I will do the fragment C. Sorry, fragment B. Fragment B again. Fragment B will go to here, inflate this fragment B, will show the fragment B, and so forth, like fragment C. Okay, so this is the tricky part. Now we have done. Let me see. I have the tutorial sheet here. So now we have done here. Now, then first, then we have once we have completed this demo fragment. Okay, now we can go to the main activity. So it's actually complete. Then we go to main activity. This one. Now, for main activity, it will correspond to this activity main, and we have a VP2, the view pager 2. We have to create. We have one view pager 2 to program this one, so that I have to create a corresponding object. So view pager, WIV pager 2, then VP equal. This is how we create it. Okay. Sometimes you do not type the tab, it gives you an error on this. Simply just press alternate on, move your cursor on here, press alternate enter for Windows, option return for Mac machine to import this class. Then we have a backend object VP. Okay, you can, I will say VP2. Let's say we have a backend object VP2, and we have front end object VP2 as well here. Okay, now we have to connect them so that I have a VP2 equal to the backend object equal to what? Equal to, there's a one key function called find view by ID. Find view by ID r.id.vp2. So this is the way to connect the backend object VP2 to the front end object. This one VP2. Okay, now the rest is easy. VP2 dot set at data. Now we simply just need to plug this at data. Because you can think of a VP2 is a plug. Plug to where? Plug this at data, so that we have 3 fragments. Okay, so how do I do this? Type new demo fragment and show to where? Show to this. Okay, show to, what do you mean by this? Now the fragment, so, hold on, let me just do it again here. Now show to, supposedly, let me do it again here. VP2 dot set at data. 你當呢個係一個插數，插嘅 data 落去。To where? 插邊個 data？ 插邊個插數啊？插個 demo at fragments. So that the demo fragment contains these three fragments. So that I'm going to have a data 一個長嘅 plug the demo fragment at data here. So I'm going to say new demo fragments. Now we have an error because we have to show those fragments where to show to this activity. Then I type this. Now so look here. If I type this, okay, if I type this THIS, okay, automatically this will give you the fragment activity here. This one you cannot type it. If you type it, you have an error. You simply just type this, then this one will go automatically show, because the one show the fragment activity will be shown in here in this activity. As I said, these fragments cannot stand alone. You have to attach to an activity. You attach where? To this activity. Then we are complete. Then to run the program, to test, you can run the program. Just wait for a while. Now we have this fragment A. By default, the position is 0. This fragment A. Okay, I have fragment here from the top to get there with 50 dp. You can put this one up. Okay, then you can have all your decoration pictures or whatever. Okay, go to the next page. Simply just use your finger, okay, or move. Problem B. Okay, chapter 1, chapter 2, or page 1, page 2. Okay, go back. Okay, this is my last page. Can I scroll again? If I scroll, you see, I cannot scroll because this is my last page. Okay, some students will actually try to. Oh, you may want to. Some students what they want to do is, if this is my last page, if I scroll again, okay, then I'll return back to the first page. How can you do it? Okay, 有啲同學仔係想係一個輪迴嚟嘅。How do you do it? Or maybe for the first page, I'm gonna go to the last page. Okay, you have to do it in this way. You have to do it here. You have to play around. You have to play around with the position. If the position has reached, because I total 3 right at the moment. If the position has reached 0 and 1 and 2, if the position has reached 2 and you want to swipe again, okay, then you simply set it back to 0. Again, if the position has reached 0, you want to swipe again, then you automatically set it 3. Okay, I'm sorry, position 2. Then you can actually do the loop. Okay, but personally, I would not prefer you do this because you really want to try to use this last page. Okay. Otherwise, it's pretty confusing. If the view keeps scrolling and see, okay, I think I see a comment, they just read around and they don't know the last page. Okay. So this is the thing. Now I got several questions I want to answer. Okay, first of all, I got student asking me for the device manager. Okay. If you create a new device, sometimes I'll just make it up. You click on this. Sometimes by default they may not have other images. Hold on, it's still running. Okay, by default it doesn't have 25. No worry, you can pick any one. You can pick the pi. I think I'm using pi here. Okay, 20 is fine. And some students have problem with exporting this one into zip file. Simply just go to File and Export .zip. Okay. Then put it on, let's say put it on desktop. Then this is my zip file. It's only 119 KB. It should not give you a 1 gig something. I've completed 呢個80 K 嘅啫 because they're all cooks. Okay. The reason that some of you have compressed the program, you did not use this method. File, export to zip. You simply just go to this folder. 我就快落堂咯。You simply just go to the folder. Let's see, let me see, where are they? 咁我俾唔俾你幫唔幫你 attendance 好咧，哥？你教我，你話我知。Go to the folder. Hold on, just let me know. Just wait. How do I find this? All of a sudden, I do not know when. Android Studio. Oh. Hold on. So some of you, some students, they simply just go to this folder and try to compress this folder. This folder, you will compress the original folder. Okay, this should be right here. This original folder, because this original folder contains the image of your virtual devices. This is the reason why you have you have 1 point something gig。OK， 有啲同學仔咧唔係用呢個方法咧去 export 你個 file 咧，你直接喺個 file finder 嗰度，或者喺呢個 file explorer 嗰度咧，直接將呢啲嘢所有嘢咧全部 compress 晒入邊一個 .zip file 咧，然之後你對比我咧，咁你就會有個1 G 幾嘅 file。點解咧？係因為你要將個 virtual device 都俾埋我，淨係個 virtual device 都差唔多成 G 啦，已經係。Supposingly 咧，你唔會有1 G 嘅 file 嘅，因為你嗰啲係都有打啲曲全部文字嚟嘅。OK， those codes supposedly you should not have any things more than 200 megs. OK, unless because actually most of them they are actually English. They're simply just code. Okay, they're just a bunch of text. Okay, unless in later when you do a project, you have actually lots of JPG files, JPEG files to include. Then probably you can add up to 100 something meg. Okay, if you copy everything like this, you actually have you actually end up compressing the whole project, and with along with the virtual machine, and that's going to be huge. All right, so you see I've actually export the file, and the file is here. It's only less than, it's only 119 or 100 something, 120 kilobyte. Okay, so 唔應該超過1 meg 嘅。Okay, all right, so any questions? 有問題？ If any questions, if you don't have any question, feel free to leave. Okay, for those who are super late comer, okay, I will give you a chance to do the attendance. But I next time if I come, I will actually give you I will only show next time, starting from next week, I will only show the QR code for twice. One is around 2 o'clock, okay, 2 to 2:05, okay, before the class start. The other one, the other time will be in the break. If I probably in the middle of probably at 3 o'clock, okay. If I otherwise, okay, you come later than 3 o'clock, okay, I'll count as absent. Okay, I think this is pretty fair. Okay, for the tutorial, for the lab, I will not count your attendance. Okay, because as I said, tutorial is free to go. Okay, it's free to come. If you have any questions regarding your work or anything, feel free to go to 107. Okay, I'll be there for at least 1 hour. Okay, since we still have time, around 10 minutes here. If you have any questions, stay here. Then ask. Otherwise, if you don't have any question, you feel good with this, then you will leave. Okay, probably you want to spend some time to see whether you want to find a group or not. Okay, after Mid-Autumn Festival, I will talk about how you find your grouping details. All right, for the super latecomers, you want to take attendance, feel free. Okay, otherwise, if you have any question, ask. Okay, at 3 o'clock, I'll be in 107. I'll be in room 107. All right, hold on, just let me stop the recording first.